today we're at a wonderful place to visit during the winter. We're at the Myriad Botanical Gardens inside the Crystal Bridge. And with us is Alan Storjahan. He is the director of the Myriad Botanical Gardens. And Alan, thank you for inviting us over today.
Well, thank you for coming, Brenda. Welcome to the Crystal Bridge.
Well, this is really fun. We're basically going to get a tour.
I'm going to take you through the tropics this morning, and you're going to be able to see some really pretty blooming plants. You really are going to have a lot of fun.
Oh, great. Now, this is more than just a greenhouse, isn't it?
Yeah, the conservatory is set up as a tropical exhibit. We have plants from every continent on Earth except for Antarctica. Plants that are really attractive, many ornamental tropicals. And as you walk through, you'll see plants that you'd find in the tropical rainforest at this end, all around us here. And then we have a dry tropical end, we'll go see that. And then some of the plants that are intermediate are also in the Crystal Bridge. So it's a very extensive collection of plants.
Great. Well, this sounds fun. Let's get started with the tour.
Right, follow me. Hey, Brenda, what do you think of the waterfall?
Oh, that looks nice. It makes it really humid in here.
Oh, it really does. And this whole mountain is just filled with fog and waterfall. It's just like the tropics.
Well, that's neat. What types of plants do you have in this area at the garden?
Well, right behind us, we have a large ginger plant, and you'll see many different varieties of gingers in here, and a large assortment of palm trees. And we have planted up on the palms bromeliads, orchids, and ferns, so that it looks a lot like it does back in the tropics.
So now, do they take special care then?
They really don't take a lot of care. It's amazing how easy they are to grow, particularly in this kind of an environment. But they do need water every morning, and in addition to that, they need a little bit of support to get started. But you can see these orchids and ferns are just doing quite well on this palm. It's Pintia.
So now it really is misty here. You have a system that provides this for the plants?
That's right. We have a Me fog system, which is a high-pressure nozzle fog, and it atomizes the water so that it's very nice. The plants love it, particularly during the dry times of the summer. And it helps them get through that real well. And all through here you can see plants of many different types of leaf, sizes, colors, and shapes. It's a very nice area right here.
This is pretty. Now I see a lot of bromeliads here. I also see a lot of begonias in this area. That makes a nice kind of lush look as we look down there.
Yeah, we're very fortunate to have over 100 different begonia specimens and a lot of bromeliads too. And the begonias bloom so nicely in the spring and the summer. They're very showy. They're also very pretty with the foliage, many different types of foliage.
That is pretty. Now the orchids that you have growing here, do they all bloom at once or do you have them blooming year-round?
They bloom just year-round. There's so many different kinds of orchids in the Crystal Bridge. We'll have Phalaenopsis blooming, and then we'll have probably the dendrobiums. They bloom almost year-round. We see a lot of them even now. The dendrobiums will be blooming, and small oncidiums will be blooming. And then the large vanda clusters come in, and at the end of the year we see a lot of cattleyas, which the end of the year will be like September and October. So just about any time, if you're an orchid enthusiast, you can come to the Crystal Bridge and really have a nice show.
Oh, neat. Well, let's look at some of the other areas that you got.
Okay. Hey, Brenda, take a look at this fruit right here.
Oh, wow. What is that?
It's a calabash. Calabash is used by the native peoples of the rainforest for a lot of different medicinal reasons. And this particular calabash plant is just loaded with orchids. And there's another fruit down there. We've planted some vanda orchids on it, and all around in here you can see some of the vines and bromeliads that grow in the Crystal Bridge.
Wow.
This is really a fun spot. It's right next to an Amazonian stream. We call it that because it's filled with fish from the Amazon. And the water in the stream, the water in the waterfall, and the water that we use in our fog system is all purified water. Also, we water all the plants with reverse osmosis purified water, so they feel like they're in the tropics getting a tropical rain.
That's neat. You don't have to worry about any salt buildup that way then.
That's really true, and it's a big problem if a plant only has a small pocket to grow in a conservatory like this. If you use regular city water, then it's going to have minerals in it, and those will build up over time. So we avoid that by using the purified water.
Wow, well, that's neat. Now this is kind of an intermediate area.
Yes, we have a lot of palms in this area. You'd find along the Mediterranean regions of the tropics, kind of an intermediate zone between the real lush tropical rainforest and the dry tropics. As we go up the stairs to the dry mountain, you'll find a lot more plants that resemble cacti, but they're really just succulents. And there are palms in this area that have storage mechanisms. They keep water in them to get them through the dry times, like the spindle palm and the bottle palm.
Okay.
So we'll take a look at those.
Great.
This part of the Crystal Bridge is filled with plants that you'd find in the monsoon or dry tropical areas of the world. A lot of plants from Madagascar and Africa are on this part. And you can tell already, we have a lot of aloes and agaves and different plants that are very succulent in nature.
It also develops kind of a more silvery look in this part.
Yeah, there is a lot of that. Brenda, you probably have been noticing the butterflies in the Crystal Bridge.
Yes, that's really fun.
We've had them for several years now, and this particular variety of butterflies called the zebra long-winged heliconia butterfly. And we're in an area where they really like to stay because it's warm, and then there's a lot of flowers for them to feed on.
How do you keep those in here year-round?
Well, it's a very friendly butterfly, and it's a semi-tropical or tropical butterfly too. So they stay right around where the plants are, and they're not always trying to bang their way out like a monarch or a swallowtail might be trying to get out to migrate or something. And we have passion vine in the Crystal Bridge. So the passion vine is its only food source for the caterpillar. So we'll put passion vine throughout the bridge in different spots, and they'll lay eggs on it, and the caterpillars will consume it, and then the cocoon or chrysalis, we'll remove those, and we actually put them in a special case to protect them from predators. And then when they hatch out, they fly throughout the Crystal Bridge. So we have a population that's growing here all year round.
Oh, neat. Now, do you have any other animals in the Crystal Bridge?
We certainly do. We have a big population of lizards, small anole lizards, and we have geckos and different basilisk lizards. And then for our educational classes, we have some insects and lizards and different kinds of snakes that are in special display cases down below.
Oh,
so it's really fun for kids when they come here to see all the different animals from the rainforest.
Oh, neat. Now, this area, you talked about it was a lot drier here. Do you notice a lot more lizards in this area?
Yeah, the lizards are an important part of the pest management here in the Crystal Bridge, even though they were kind of an accident. They do a good job eating all the bad guys, the aphids, and sometimes the mealybugs and things that we have in here. They're also really fun to watch.
They are fun. The whole place is a fun place to come visit. And what are your hours?
We're open every day of the year, Brenda, from 9 in the morning till 6. So you can come out here on Sundays even from 9 till 6. Every day of the year except for Christmas. And we're closed on Christmas Day.
Oh, neat. Now, the Myriad Botanical Gardens is actually a lot more than just the Crystal Bridge, though.
Right. The Crystal Bridge is right in the middle. We're surrounded by 17 acres of park, and it's being developed quite a bit with specialty and display gardens outside.
Oh, neat. Now, you've got some new gardens that have just put in this year?
We have a garden right outside on the northeast corner of the Myriad Gardens, a Minder's Garden, and it's a garden that's really, really exciting for us. It's brand new. We just opened it up this summer. You want to go take a look at it?
Yes, I'd love to.
Okay.
Well, and this is a nice addition to the gardens out here.
Yes, it is. This is our new Minder's Garden, and it's called the Northeastern Oklahoma Garden, and it has a lot of plants that you'd find in the northeastern part of the state right here.
Now, are they all native to the northeastern part of the state?
Many of them were selected that do grow natively in the state. The landscape architecture firm, Robert Lewis and Associates, that designed this wonderful garden, they did a lot of research about the plants that you would find in northeastern Oklahoma, so that when people come here, really from all over the world, they'll see plants that do well in that part of the state.
Well, this is very nice, and basically it's just been planted this year, hasn't it?
That's right. It was just dedicated a couple months ago, and it was planted during the brutal summer of 1998. So it's amazing that the plants have done as well as they have, and of course any garden that you plant is going to get better every year as time goes by. But as you walk through the garden, you'll see several water features. We have this large pool right here beside us, and then we have a waterfall that is made to replicate kind of a creek that you would find in northeastern Oklahoma. There's plenty of aquatic plants and fish in these lakes. They're small lakes, small ponds. And then we have all around them shrubs and indigenous trees that, as they get bigger, they're going to be a great addition to our collection here.
Well, this is a very nice addition. We're kind of going out of the perennial season, though. Have you got any plans for the holidays?
Well, we do. It's getting close to the holidays, and the entire Myriad Gardens likes to decorate. And this year, we'd like to invite folks to come to the Crystal Bridge. We have extended hours the week before Christmas. We'll be open till 9 o'clock, and you can come in and have a real great experience inside. And then we have a special event right here at the first weekend of December, on December the 5th, and that will be our Festival of Lights. And there's a large parade, and a lot of the trees will be decorated, and there'll be music out in the gardens. It'll be lots of fun. So we invite people to come on that event too. Coming up here in just a couple weeks.
Oh, this will be fun. We'll have to come back down and see that.
You've got to come. Come back to downtown Oklahoma City, and it'll be really, really fun. And year-round, we're always doing things here, and so we have a lot of events through the summer, fall, winter, and spring. And it's the kind of place where it's something's going on all the time.
Well, Alan, we appreciate so much you showing us around today.
Well, thanks for coming, and we wish everyone happy holidays, and wish you come back to the Crystal Bridge. Come see us.
Great.